when you think you done heard it all, it's always something else that come along that's crazier than the craziest crime you'd have never heard about. It's always something else that outpass the craziest, ridiculous story. This another one that allegedly was for nonsense. They was on a strict budget. And she ate up most of the breakfast food, left him scraps. And somebody lost their life over nonsense, over breakfast food on a Sunday morning before church. But this the days we living in. It's an unfortunate situation. And this world could continue to get more crazy and crazier. And things you think you will never hear about, or something that somebody's life could never be took over. Here we go. Another devastating situation over nonsense. But this the days we living in.
Investigators say a woman shot her partner after an argument over breakfast.
The deadly shooting happening Sunday morning in LaPlace. In an exclusive interview you see only on WWL Louisiana, Eleanor DeBone spoke to the aunt of the victim, Joshua Jones, who described her nephew as a hardworking man.
Joshua is my sister's only child. She waited a long time to have a child, and then when she and her husband had him, we were all very happy about that.
A mother with one child shares a profound bond with that child, one so powerful, nothing else could ever matter.
My sister is not doing well. He called her every day, all day, even though they lived in the same house.
Joshua Jones's aunt and pastor, Carla Jones, says her younger sister once shared her love with her two loves, her husband and her son.
My brother-in-law passed when he was about 14.
Now Pastor Carla, her sister and their family are grieving an emptiness words cannot describe.
He lived with his mom. He was just wanting to make sure that everything for her was okay.
According to the St. John the Baptist Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to a LaPlace home Sunday morning. The Sheriff's Office says 24-year-old Tamyrihu Hubbard from Marrero called 911 saying she shot her boyfriend in the chest. The office says Hubbard told deputies the duo were arguing over the food made for breakfast. Joshua died at the scene.
He was actually getting ready to come to church. My sister didn't know that she was there. And I'm just assuming that when he got ready to leave or whatever, that might have been a tipping point.
The Sheriff's Office says throughout the investigation, deputies learned the pair's relationship was volatile, but says there are no documented reports with the office.
I heard some things, that they would argue, that she would argue with him, because he was very laid back. To my knowledge, it never got to a point where it should have been anything this serious.
Hubbard is booked with second-degree murder.
I just would like him back.
Pastor Carla is urging the community to understand that gun violence doesn't just take lives, it shatters families.
Bullets literally cause finality.
Because now, she says, two families carry the weight of grief and heartbreak, one that may never fade.
He's been killed, so it means all of us have been killed. In a sense, there's a part of all of us that has literally died.
Eleanor DeBone, WWL, Louisiana.
According to the Sheriff's Office, Hubbard's being held in the parish jail on a $1 million bond.
Man, we back with another crazy story out of St. John's Parish, Louisiana, about a couple that had an argumentative past, arguing over breakfast that was fixed on a Sunday morning right before church. Ended up in a deadly situation where a man lost his life and his girlfriend now in jail on second-degree murder charges. This another crazy situation because this lets you know that it could be literally anything that can cause someone to lose their life in a devastating situation. Who would ever knew that going back and forth over breakfast end up to somebody losing their life. People in a relationship always have disagreements, but for the most part, it never ends up into where somebody lose their life, where you got to take a weapon out to justify actions, or you get that mad and angry that you feel like you got to take someone that you said you love, or someone that you sharing your life with, that you would take their life. Like I said, this just a travesty situation, and at the end of the day, you don't know who you laying next to, who you sharing your life with. And for the most part, when you look at a certain situation that you going with your significant other, you will never think that a small argument over dinner, breakfast, who gonna take the trash out, or end up to you losing your life over a simple disagreement. This story just literally shows you that people can die over anything, any situation. Things that you might not even think that you would think about an hour or two later, that it was just something that we had a disagreement about. And for somebody to lose their life over a simple argument, it had to be a lot of tension. It had to be a lot of things that was going on previous to this situation that made this situation, this simple situation, this simple thing, turn into a deadly attack. And they said she shot him one time, but she knew that was the kill shot. She knew what she was doing. She knew that pulling the gun or possibly take his life. Was she trying to scare him? Did she know what she was doing? Did she know that it was loaded? But at the end of the day, it don't matter if she knew what she was doing or if it had bullets in it, because she pulled the trigger. And ultimately, somebody lost their life. But like I said, this the days we living in. Unfortunately, we continue to see these type of crazy crimes. And instead of getting crazy and crazier every day, and it's a deadly situation over something that was just so plain and simple. This guy was on his way to church on a Sunday morning, eating breakfast before church, got into an altercation with his girlfriend, and he lost his life. He wasn't able to make it to church. His mother, only child, which make it more devastating. Him and his mom was close. His mom had already lost his father. The two most important people in her life, his auntie said. But this just another devastating situation over nonsense. But we continue to see these type of crazy, brazen crimes going on that don't make no sense. But this the days we living in. I want to send my condolences to the family, because you would never think somebody lose their life over arguing over breakfast. But like I said, there had to be something else leading up to this type of situation, because people just don't do stuff like this here. There had to be a lot going on previous to this situation. But he was going to church, getting his life together, cool guy, and unfortunately this type of situation happened. But I want to send condolences to the family, all his loved ones who gonna miss him. And I know it hurt over these type of little crimes and these type of things that's going on that shouldn't have led to this type of situation. But again, like I said, these the days we living in. We're in the days of the last days. But let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. It's an unfortunate situation. And we out.